first part, £350 million, that is the gross sum that we send to the European Union every week. In fact, it's slightly more than that. During the course of the referendum campaign, I made it clear that we would end our contributions to the European Union, we would take that money back, we would spend it on the people's priorities. I was asked about it in a number of public interviews and a number of public stages, and I was always clear and consistent. That's the gross amount. It takes account of the rebate. We can't count on the rebate. It also takes account of some of the money that the European Union currently spends in this country, but spends on priorities it sets, not those that we control. We'll take that money back. We will control it ourselves. Absolutely. On the second point about the campaign, I don't retreat from anything that I said in the campaign or anything that I did in the campaign. I was proud to play a part in that campaign. I pointed out in my speech that it was a wrench, boy it was a wrench, to part company with the Prime Minister, whom I've known for so long and whom I admire so much. But as I hope I made clear in this speech, if you're a politician, you're not paid to tend to your own feelings, you're paid to lay out your beliefs and convictions clearly. And that's what I did. And I was delighted that the public voted to leave the European Union, and I believe that whoever our next leader is should be someone who argued for that mandate, believes in that mandate, and can deliver that mandate. And on the final question about Boris, I worked with Boris during the course of that referendum campaign. He campaigned with passion and brio. He was such a big part of it. And immediately after that, I wanted to make sure that someone who believed, as Boris does, in our destiny outside the European Union could become Prime Minister. I didn't want that job for myself. But as I made clear during the course of the last week, when we were trying to build that team and we were trying to ensure that Boris could become Prime Minister, it became clear to me, and I realised reluctantly but firmly, that I couldn't recommend that he should be Prime Minister, and it then fell to me to stand myself. Okay, I think it's John P&R there.
Mr Gove, you've spoken of kindness and respect. You were very clear that Boris Johnson does not have what it takes to be Prime Minister. Does Theresa May have what it takes to be Prime Minister? And your assassination of Boris Johnson, if I could put it that way, has cost you quite a lot of kindness and respect among your colleagues. You'll know that. Can you possibly recover from that?
Well, two things. I admire and respect all of the other candidates in this leadership election. Theresa May has been an outstanding Home Secretary. If she is elected as Prime Minister, I'm sure she will do an outstanding job. But the one thing I want to make clear is that I believe that the person who should be Prime Minister of this country should be someone who argued for and believes in the mandate of the British people. And Theresa did not argue for and did not put the case for Britain leaving the European Union. And that is a fundamental division of principle between the two of us. But I won't take anything away from Theresa's formidable qualities as a front-rank minister. On the second question, well, as I pointed out in my speech, as Education Secretary and at various different times in my career, people have sometimes said some less than obliging things about me. That is something with which anyone who hopes to lead has to live. If you're the sort of person who worries about personal criticism, if you're the sort of person who allows the attacks from others to get under your skin, you shouldn't be leader. People can speak out, they can speak from their heart, they can say what they like about me, but the one thing that no one can say about me is that I don't stand up and be counted for my convictions when it matters. Yes, sorry.
Thank you. Tamara.
Sorry, Tamara, yes.
Mr Gove, if I could press you on this issue, one of your Conservative colleagues used to say that he who wields the knife never wears the crown. Given many in the party believe that you unite Boris Johnson, how will you convince them to put their trust in you to unite the party?
Well, I've laid out a vision today, and I will lay out greater detail in plans over the course of the next few days. And I'm asking people to look at my track record of achievement in government, to look at my principles, and to look at my vision, and to make their judgment based on that. Because ultimately, when you're choosing a leader, when you're deciding who you want to put the destiny of this country in the hands of, then the ultimate thing that matters most is, are they able to take tough and sometimes very uncomfortable decisions? Are they able to put sometimes, personal considerations aside to do what is right? Above all, do they have the values, the belief and the plan that will lead this country effectively? That is the basis on which I am standing, the basis on which I expect to be judged, and whatever the verdict, I will respect it.